Okay, let's unpack this. Picture the scene. It's June 8th, 2025. You're right there on the banks of the Hantangang River in Pocheon, South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
The sun's out, families are all around, and the air is just filled with sound.
Mm-hmm.
Happy barking, laughter, dogs running, jumping.
Yeah, doing obstacle courses. It sounds like a really vibrant scene, a proper sports day for dogs.
Exactly, pure joy. But, as the material you shared makes clear, while it definitely was fun, that day was also something more, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It was like a window into this much bigger social shift happening in South Korea right now.
A shift in how people see their pets.
Precisely. It's this move towards really, truly seeing companion animals as, integral family members, part of the core unit.
Right. So for this deep dive, using these articles and notes we have, our mission is to really explore that changing relationship
Yeah, look at how a city like Pocheon is responding, practically speaking.
and figure out what this whole trend means, not just for pet owners, but like for whole communities, even economies.
Well, starting with that festival itself, the sources paint a picture that it goes way beyond just playtime.
Okay.
I mean, sure, there were races and agility courses, but there were also these really practical things happening.
Like what?
Workshops on pet etiquette, behavior counseling, chaining demos, even free basic grooming, stuff like that.
Oh, wow. Practical stuff.
And what really stood out to me was the mention of CPR training for dogs.
CPR for dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that says a lot.
It really does. It signals just how deeply people are invested in their pets' well-being. It's not just a casual thing anymore.
No, definitely not. And the sources also highlighted some fun, specific details, right? Like those sports day awards.
Yes, those were great. The categories like, weed dog
So,
and come quickly dog.
jump over dog
It
and a beautiful dog. Really creative.
sounds like a lot of fun was had. They also mentioned the Yellow Dog Project campaign was part of it.
Yeah, which is such a good awareness initiative, letting people know some dogs need their space.
Yeah.
Definitely. It adds another layer to just, managing dogs in public spaces.
And those details really bring the atmosphere to life. But it wasn't just for the pet owners, which I thought was interesting.
Oh,
According to a city official quoted in the material, there was this dual goal.
okay.
One, provide useful education and fun for the owners, obviously. But two, and this seems key, help non-pet owners better understand and appreciate the animals sharing their community.
Ah, right. Building bridges, sort of.
Exactly. The aim, they stated, was fostering a mature companion culture. It's all about coexistence.
That phrase, mature companion culture, I think that really captures it. And it connects to the personal side of this, right?
Instantly. The sources bring in this quote from Im Jong-hoon. He's the chairman of the Pocheon City Council.
What did he say?
He said something like, after a long, tiring day, the look in a pet's eyes as they greet you with a wagging tail brings immense comfort. They are family. They are our deepest friends.
Wow, that's powerful. Really puts a human face on it.
It does. And what's fascinating is seeing how that really personal feeling is, directly shaping public policy.
How so?
Well, Chairman Amin stressed that the council is committed to translating that affection into actual, tangible infrastructure policies
Based on
a philosophy of life respect to me for animals. So it's moving from feeling to action.
And you can see the demand for that action coming from people on the ground, too.
Yeah, there was that quote from Kim Ji-yeon, a 34-year-old attendee.
Right. What did she want?
Pretty simple, really. Just more safe places where her dog could run freely. And she hoped festivals like this would happen more often.
So that's the practical need driving it. People want more support, more spaces.
Exactly. And that need for space and facilities. That leads us straight to Pocheon's biggest response mentioned in the sources.
Which is?
This plan for a large-scale dog theme park.
A theme park. Okay, that's ambitious.
Very ambitious. And it's not just talk. The sources have concrete details. It's apparently slated for completion relatively soon, in 2026.
Wow. Okay. And it's a pretty big site, 6.5 acres or 8,000 pyong, they mentioned, located in Dopyeong-rae, Ilyeongmayon.
So a dedicated large space. What kind of features are they planning?
It sounds quite comprehensive. Things like swimming pools for dogs.
Seriously, dog swimming pools?
Yep. Playgrounds, dedicated training facilities, walking trails with nice scenery, and other sort of leisure and cultural spots designed for both dogs and their owners.
So a whole destination experience.
That seems to be the goal.
Now, this is clearly driven by that social shift we talked about, but it also feels like there's a strong economic angle here, too. Did the sources touch on that?
Oh, absolutely. It's presented very much as having those dual drivers, social trends meeting economic strategy.
Okay.
Mayor Baek Young-hyun is quoted with a pretty striking projection
Which is?
that the domestic companion animal market in South Korea is expected to grow, like massively, hitting 6 trillion won by 2027.
6 trillion won. Was that in US dollars, roughly?
Around $4.5 billion. So yeah, a huge market. And the theme park is positioned to capture a piece of that pie,
Exactly. The vision is for it to be a major economic asset,
drawing people in.
not just from Pocheon, but from the whole Seoul metropolitan area.
Yeah.
The stated goal is regional economic vitalization.
Makes sense. Are they considering the impact on local residents, though? Building something that big?
Yeah, the sources do mention that. They say measures for coexistence with the nearby residents are being actively sought alongside the development. So they seem aware of that potential issue.
Okay, good. So if we kind of bring all these threads together, the festival, the personal stories, this big theme park plan,
Yeah.
what it really highlights is this fundamental change in South Korea. Right?
Yeah, where the actual definition of family seems to be genuinely expanding to include pets. They're not just animals anymore.
And it shows a local government, Pocheon, making a pretty significant bet on this trend.
It really does. They seem to view investing in the happiness and welfare of these four-legged residents as, well, not just a nice thing to do, as a direct investment in the well-being of the entire community, and a way to actively foster that coexistence Oigi they mentioned earlier.
Right. So recapping quickly, we've seen this evolving view of pets becoming family in South Korea.
We've seen Pocheon's very tangible response through events, through major infrastructure plans like the theme park.
And we've seen how this blends deep social change with, real economic opportunity in this booming companion animal sector.
Yeah. And thinking about all this, what's really thought-provoking is the bigger implication, isn't it?
Again,
Well, if cities like Pocheon are figuring out that investing in pet happiness actually boosts community well-being, and if this idea of family keeps expanding globally, which it seems to be, it really raises a big question for all of us.
which is,
How might cities and societies everywhere need to fundamentally adapt? Rethink policies, infrastructure, public spaces, even just basic social norms to truly embrace pets as these essential family members.
what else needs to change for that to happen?
Exactly. What other parts of community life might need a shift? It definitely gives you a lot to think about regarding the future of, like, urban planning and just how we structure our communities.